Cypher Sigma, it is the weekend and it is review time, and as you already clicked on, this is the review for Garfield, or the Garfield movie. So this is the new incarnation, or the new kind of representation of Garfield in 2024. So this is the third animated movie. This is the full animated movie of Garfield, following on, or not following on, but to follow after the two in, I think, 2007 and 2009, the Bill Murray voice ones, where it was mostly live action, and then Garfield was animated. Anybody who hasn't seen the trailer or doesn't know anything about it, the trailer gives quite a lot away. It is essentially Garfield. It is a story of Garfield, that he is left alone by his dad, Vic. He is then taken on by John. Obviously, John gets Odie as well. They grow up, and then it's basically people, or he gets kidnapped by the bad guys due to his dad, and then it's him having to work with his dad to try and redeem, or kind of pay back the bad guys, the villains in this one. It's about an hour and 40 minutes long, I think. It's not too long. There are stuff on the credits, so when you watch the credits, there are pictures and stuff that come up, and then at the very end of the credits, there is kind of a very old style 3 pictures that come up, like the old cartoon used to be in newspapers, to kind of hint at a sequel. It's no big thing. That's it. So I'll put a warning up for spoilers and stuff. So anybody, if you don't want to know anything more about this movie, please stop the video here. Please feel free to come back if you've watched it. If you aren't going to watch this movie, or you have seen it and you're interested in my reviews or whatever, please do carry on. So as I said, this is the story of Garfield. This starts off as Garfield ordering takeout, has Odie in the background, and they're kind of narrating a little bit of how the movie starts off. I thought this was quite good, quite different to start a movie off. And as I say, the story is Garfield being left alone by his dad. He obviously, quite a lot of this is in the trailer. Obviously, he sees John at the pizza place. They kind of form a friendship. John realizes he doesn't have a home, and he takes him in. And then time speeds by. John moves out of his flat, moves into a house with Garfield. Garfield kind of takes over and has Odie, who kind of backs him up. Then it's kind of, you just have a little bit of them going through the normal routine of what they go through. And then when Garfield is going for his midnight snack, this is where he gets kidnapped by the 2 henchmen. So these are called Ronald and Noland. Rolando? Well, no, Roland. Yeah, Roland and Noland. Roland and Noland, even. So the rhyming slang. So these are 2 dogs from the pound. The stereotypical bad guys. Basically, they are kidnapped, taken to this abandoned mall. And this is where they are rescued by Vic. Again, seen in the trailer, that obviously it's Garfield's dad. When they go to get away, they realise it's Jinx. So it's an evil cat who is played by Hannah Waddingham. Seems to be popping up quite a lot, so it's quite popular in a minute. Obviously, we have Samuel L. Jackson as Vic, Garfield's dad. Chris Pratt plays the voice of Garfield. You have Vic Rames in here as Otto Bull, who they meet later on, and obviously Nicholas Hoult as the voice of John. They are the main people that I can tell from actors. The other ones are voice actors, and they're new. Some are new to me, anyway. But anyway, they've met at this shopping mall. Obviously, once Vic, it kind of comes out of the background, you get to kind of meet most of the characters, and she explains the story that she was friends with Garfield's dad and his gang. When they were nicking some milk on this farm, she got basically locked up because she got caught. And basically, she wants revenge on Garfield's dad, and that's why she's kidnapped Garfield, to lure him out of the shadows. Simple enough. He gets given a sizable task to get a batch amount of milk for Jinx to cover the period she was in, which was 4 years. So then him and Garfield go away. They've got 48 hours, and this is the story of them trying to get into this place, this milk place again that he used to get into with his gang. But it's got more security and something. Obviously, they do have 2 mascots. They kind of have, so they have a cow called Alicia, and a boy called Otto. Unfortunately, due to certain circumstances, they're separated. Otto lives outside of the farm. He's been kind of shunned, and Alicia is just like kind of the puppet. So these are kind of the side characters that are brought into it, and obviously trying to get them two back together kind of links inside with Otto helping them. So Otto's like, I miss my love. I don't get to see it. If you rescue her as well as getting the milk, I will help you out. And that's how the kind of scene goes. They go through the kind of caper. They go to get the milk. There's the bad guy obviously sets him up. Vic gets away with the milk. And obviously Garfield and Odie get captured, but obviously because Garfield has the lead, John finds them and recovers them. And through the process of this, it's kind of, you have Garfield and Vic kind of coming together, knowing that actually he wasn't really abandoned. He just went looking for food, and he wasn't gone longer than probably like a few hours. When he came back, he realised that he saw him with John, saw John that could provide for him better, and left him. But he's always been watching him from this tree outside his house, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, when Garfield comes to this realisation when he's rescued from the pound by John, he then goes back to save his dad. Obviously, good guys win, bad guys kind of lose. They kind of have a turn of fate, and that's kind of the story of Garfield. Very much almost tick the boxes, fairly good family movie. If you have a family, if you have kids, this is definitely up your street. So what did I think about it? So I did actually quite enjoy this movie. I say it's very formulaic. As I say, you have kind of the good guy, a bad guy. You kind of have the connection that happens by the end of the movie. You have some side characters to fill it out and stuff like this. And say there probably is some sort of movie formula that they follow for most animated movies, and it does kind of sit in the same kind of pattern. Obviously this, even though it's a Garfield movie, and unlike the other Garfield movies that have come before it, they have a lot of side characters brought in there, whether that's they don't have enough faith in Garfield, or they feel it's better for the audience to relate to more characters or something, who knows. Obviously the animation is good from start to finish. I thought it worked really well. The voice acting, I wasn't the biggest fan of Chris Pratt when I heard he was going to be the voice. After doing Mario, I did like him as Mario. But when he was like Garfield, I was like, do we need another animated movie with him as a voice? But actually, I did warm to his voice as it go on, and it didn't really bug me as I thought it was going to be, just based off the trailer. I said that Nicholas Hoult as John was quite good. All the voices fit quite well. I didn't, even though it's not the normal people who have voiced these characters in this, I thought it was done well. It was a good introduction to Garfield. I mean, the biggest thing I think with this is, as I say, it ticks all the boxes. It has this formulaic kind of setup, but it's one of these things of when you come to a second movie, which it hinted at, I'm like, where will you go with this? Because obviously his dad kind of moves in with them at the end, and that, I didn't think there was any other way they could have gone with that, but it then changes kind of the whole dynamic of it's always been John, Garfield and Odie, and now you've changed that. Maybe there is John, I normally John has a bigger presence in this, and he didn't have much, to be honest. But as I said, I did like the movie, I did like the acting, I did like the animation. But for me, the thing that kind of tips this over, so if I was to kind of rate this movie standard, I would give it a 6 out of 10. As I say, it is a good movie, but it ticks all the boxes, and it doesn't really go, apart from rating and stuff, it doesn't too much go outside of the realm of that formula. It does throw jokes here and there, some land, some don't. But for me, the thing that I will rate this more, so I will rate this 6.4 out of 10, is obviously I used to be a big cat fan. Now I'm more a dog fan because I've had a dog. Obviously Marty, he is almost 6 now. But having a dog, there are so many references to Odie and what Odie does in this. So much rings true to me in life. And there's, something simple as when he goes to sleep and the dog lays on his back. My dog's always kind of laying in front of you. And it is stuff like this that always wanting to help out and always being obedient and always doing the right thing and stuff like this. And Odie, for me, I kind of always wanted more of Odie, but when Odie is on screen and what he does for probably like 95% of the time, I thought was brilliant. It's very true in keeping with a dog. And even though the movie is about a cat, the cat isn't always centre spot. It kind of is a group of characters and stuff like this. And for me, yeah, as I say, that's why it gets kind of the 0.4 extra, just because of Odie. I say it's I probably could be 0.5, or probably could have been more, but I'll give it 6.4. I say it's a good solid movie. If you have a family, definitely go take it, enjoy them. If you like cats and dogs and stuff like this, yeah, it's an animated movie about quite an existing character. And there's been quite a lot of stuff of Garfield in the past that I don't think this is ever going to be a masterpiece of a movie. But they did take a few chances into it, and I'm interested and I think the one thing with this is how the second movie, what they do and how they do it will be the thing. Anyway, I've been Cypher for Screen Time. This has been my review of the Garfield movie. Have you seen the movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I shall see you in the next one.